Hello students, today we are going to study some of the examples of nucleophilic substitution reaction. We have studied in detail the mechanism of nucleophilic substitution reaction, but now we are going to study some very important examples of nucleophilic substitution reaction. So the first one is reaction with water. So if I write any alkyl halide, for example, suppose this one is there, our alkyl halide. In this alkyl halide, this is unoccupied valencies, means here maybe hydrogen, maybe other alkyl groups. When we react this, here for simplicity, I specify this is hydrogen, hydrogen and hydrogen. Means it is halomethane or methyl halide. So when we react methyl halide with any nucleophile Nu, then what will happen? There will be nucleophilic substitution reaction and our product will be CS3 Nu. This is our product and this reaction is nucleophilic substitution reaction. If I ask you whether this reaction will go via SN1 pathway or SN2 pathway, then now you can answer very clearly, as it is a halomethane and in halomethane SN1 is not possible. That's why this will be SN2 reaction. SN2 nucleophilic substitution reaction means it will follow bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction in which bond formation and bond breaking both will take place simultaneously. So now in place of nucleophile, we'll take some of the reagents and we'll discuss which part of the reagent behaves as a nucleophile, and then some of the important nucleophiles which involves a nucleophilic substitution reaction, but simply we cannot understand this without knowing the mechanism of that reaction. So I will discuss those mechanisms here. So let's start. So first is if we see here, we are treating this methyl halide. What is the name of this product? Chloromethane, already I have discussed. And if we react this with H2O, H2O is water. Now in H2O, when we see, none of the part is negatively charged, but if we focus on oxygen, this oxygen has extra pair of electron. Lone pair of electrons are present on oxygen atom, and because of this lone pair of electron, this water molecule possesses nucleophilic character. So in this reaction, whole molecule will behave as a nucleophile and this electron will be donated to the C, carbon. Why it will be donated to the carbon? If we see here, this one is partially negative. Due to more electronegativity of chlorine, this bond pair will shift more towards the chlorine atom and this will acquire partial positive charge. So it will approach this carbon atom, and when it will approach this carbon atom, this CCl bond will break and there will be formation of a transition state, and that transition state is plus Cl minus. Why this oxygen has acquired positive charge? Because it has given its electron pair to the carbon. First it gives its one electron to the carbon, then with another electron it makes covalent bonding with carbon. Here oxygen has four electrons, two lone pair, and out of these two electron, one electron is given to the carbon to fulfill its valence shell, because when this CCl bond will break, chlorine will take away this third pair of electron, so this carbon will be deficient in one electron. So first this oxygen donates its electron to the carbon, and then with this next electron it makes covalent bonding, resulting in formation. So here we can see that oxygen is losing its one electron and giving to the carbon, and whenever there will be loss of electron, there will be positive charge on that atom. So that's why this oxygen is acquiring positive charge. Again, this oxygen is not normal element, it is highly electronegative element, and now positive charge on this element. As we know that there are three most electronegative elements in periodic table. This is fluorine, oxygen and nitrogen. These are highly electronegative elements. They rarely forms positive oxidation state. Oxygen forms positive oxidation state only with its next higher electronegative element, that is fluorine. So here oxygen is acquiring positive charge, means this positive charge has increased hunger of this oxygen many times. So hunger for what? All atoms have hunger for electrons only. So here hunger doesn't mean that it will ask you to give some food or breakfast. Here hunger means it needs electron. So because of this positive charge, it was already electronegative, now it is acquiring positive charge, so its electronegativity has increased many fold. And in normal chemistry language we say that positive charge is highly unstable on high electronegative element, but the meaning of this one is same, that when high electronegative element will acquire positive charge, its hunger for electron will increase. So what will happen? It will break the bond. So it breaks this bond. If this will break this bond, then again we will get the same compound. So if we talk about here, which one is weaker, this carbon or this hydrogen? You have to guess about that. We know that hydrogen, if we compare the electronegativity of hydrogen and carbon, hydrogen is less electronegative than carbon. Being less electronegative, the electronegativity difference here will become high, and you can understand in this way that oxygen has to withdraw electron, have to snatch electron from other atom, and here oxygen has only two options. One option is carbon and another option is hydrogen. And we know that hydrogen is weak electronegative than carbon. So from where oxygen can snatch electron easily? Obviously from those elements which is less electronegative. So instead of breaking this CO bond, this oxygen will snatch this electron, either this one or this one, and it will result in release of H plus ion. It will cause liberation of H plus ion, and when H plus ion will be liberated, then there will be formation of this OH. So whenever we treat alkyl halide with water, it will result in formation of alcohol through this pathway. So final product is methanol. So when alkyl halide, especially here chloromethane, is treated with water, then it results in formation of methanol, and it will follow SN2 pathway, means bond breaking and bond formation both will take place simultaneously. So now next is reaction with ammonia. Now next nucleophile is ammonia. Again, there is no negative charge on any of the atom. So it is behaving as a nucleophile because of this electron pair. It is electron rich atom. So this nitrogen will get attracted to this carbon atom, or if we say in little advanced language, then we can say that this nitrogen is donating its electron pair in the anti-bonding molecular orbital of carbon atoms. And in class 11th we have seen that when electron goes into anti-bonding molecular orbital, the bond order decreases. So when this electron will go into anti-bonding, this CCl bond will become weak and it will be dissociated. Or in normal sense we can say that it is electron rich, it is electron deficient. So obviously this atom will go and will donate electron to this carbon atom. So now see, when this nitrogen will give electron to this carbon atom, will have NH, H, H, and then your hydrogens are there, and here what is there? It is acquiring, this nitrogen is acquiring positive charge. Again this nitrogen is acquiring positive charge. Why? Because same thing as we have seen in case of water, same will be applicable here also. One electron is given to this carbon atom because it is electron deficient, and then with another electron it is making covalent bond. As there is transfer of electron from the nitrogen to this vacant orbital of carbon, that's why this nitrogen is acquiring positive charge. Same question again, positive charge will increase the hunger of this nitrogen many times, or we may say that electronegativity of this nitrogen will increase manifold, and due to this increased electronegativity, one of the NH bond will break. This nitrogen will snatch one of the electron from any of these three hydrogens, and because of that there will be liberation of H plus ion. So you can see here there is liberation of H plus ion. H plus ion is liberated here, and there will be formation of NH2. When NH2 group is attached, what is the name of this NH2 group? Amine. Functional group name of this NH2 group is amine, and carbon is, one carbon is there, so name of this compound will become methenamine. Name of this carbon will become methenamine. So you can see here it is also following the same pattern of reaction as water was following. Now we come to next. Now we are replacing another nucleophile. Another nucleophile is NaOH, sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide we cannot use in the form of pellet. We all know that in laboratory sodium hydroxide is form of small pellets. It is available in the form of small pellets, highly hygroscopic. If you keep in your hand for few seconds, then it will absorb moisture from the atmosphere. So two words are there, hygroscopic and deliquescent. Generally students get confused with these two words and used to think that both are same, but both words are different. Deliquescent and hygroscopic, both words are different in chemistry. So if you know the meaning of these two words, write in comment box. So when we are treating with NaOH, then what will happen? This sodium hydroxide in NaOH, when we dissolve NaOH in water, this is a base and base donates OH minus ion. So obviously NaOH will dissociate in Na plus and OH minus. Na will acquire positive charge and OH minus will acquire negative charge. Any species which is acquiring positive charge cannot behave as a nucleophile, because in nature like charge will always repel each other, will never attract each other. So here positive charge will be acquired by the sodium atom and negative charge will be acquired by the hydroxide ion. So out of these Na plus and OH present in the solution, only OH minus being negatively charged will behave as a nucleophile, nucleus lover. Positive charge lover will have strong affinity for the positive charge. So there is no use of writing this Na. We have only OH negative as nucleophile. So we are writing here this OH negative as nucleophile. Now this OH negative will approach this carbon atom, and when it will approach, nucleophilic substitution reaction will take place. Cl will be replaced by OH and our product will be OH. Now it will follow SN1 pathway or SN2 pathway. That will be decided by looking here. This is methyl chloride, it cannot go SN1 pathway, so obviously this one will be SN2 pathway. Through SN2 it will give methanol. Now next one is reaction with NaCN or KCl. Here I am not specifying any alkyl halide, that may be methyl chloride, ethyl chloride, or any other alkyl halide. So instead of writing any specific alkyl halide, here I leave these valency unoccupied. If it will be ethyl chloride, then here you will add CS3 Cl, it will become ethyl chloride. So accordingly, to generalize the reaction, here we are leaving this valency unoccupied, but this whole molecule is indicating alkyl halide. So now if we treat this with NaCN or KCN plus NaCN, now question same arises. NaCN, again when we will add into water, being ionic compound, it will dissociate into Na plus and cyanide ion. Sodium acquiring positive charge will never behave as a nucleophile, and cyanide ion being negatively charged, it will behave as a nucleophile. So this cyanide ion, Cn negative. But here question remains that whether this negative charge will be on this nitrogen or carbon. This is very important here. When we take NaCN, the cyanide ion we have has negative charge on this carbon atom. Why not on hydrogen? Why not on nitrogen atom? That can be explained by MOT, molecular orbital theory. Due to high stability of this negative charge on carbon, it is acquiring negative charge. If I will start to discuss that point, I will deviate from my topic. So remember that when we are taking NaCN or KCN, in that case negative charge is present on this carbon atom. Now what will happen? Same thing will happen, nucleophilic substitution reaction will take place. This Cl nucleophile will be replaced by cyanide nucleophile, and will have the common naming of this compound is simply we say this alkyl part. If there is only one carbon part here, if here we have only one carbon part, then we say this is methyl, one carbon, methyl, two carbon, ethyl, 3 propyl, 4 butyl, like that. So if there is one carbon atom, it is methyl cyanide, common name. Common names are those names for which there is no rule. It is only used frequently, but there is, this name is not given under any rules. Like what? Like in our home we have one registered name in our certificate, one a common name in our home. So like that, compounds name which is more oftenly used are common name, but this name is not registered anywhere, and it is not given by the IUPAC. IUPAC is the father of all organic compounds, because IUPAC gives name to all the organic compounds. So here this one is the alkyl cyanide common name, but the IUPAC name is, when you write the name, then you have to count this carbon also in chain, and that's why name of this compound will be that particular alkane nitrile. Nitrile word will be Nitrile, nitrile. So what will be this name? Ethane nitrile. Similarly, if we are using here AgCN, if we are using here AgCN, then in that case it looks that here also metal is there, and sodium and potassium was also metal, silver is also metal, sodium potassium was also metal, so both are metal, so same reaction will take place. But no, be aware, here there is sign of danger. Sign of danger is that if we see this bonding Ag C triple bond N, then this bond is not perfectly ionic, it has more covalent character. So when we will dissolve AgCN into solvent, it will not dissociate into Ag plus and cyanide ion, and when it will not dissociate, in that case there will be no negative charge on this carbon atom, and now nucleophilic character in the molecule will be because of this unbonded lone pair of electron of nitrogen. This unbonded lone pair of electron, this electron will make this compound nucleophile. That's why in AgCN nucleophile is not cyanide ion. In AgCN nucleophile is whole molecule itself. So this electron pair will be given to this carbon atom because it is acquiring negative, positive. This is our nucleophilic center where nucleophile attacks. So this nitrogen will behave as a nucleophile and it will attack here, and resulting in formation of NCAz, and it will acquire positive charge. Now positive charge on her electronegative element, again highly unstable. This bond will break. When this bond will break, this bond will also dissociate, and resulting in formation of NC. NC group is known as isocyanide or isonitrile. So this is alkyl isocyanide or alkyl isonitrile. So I think up to here you have understood. In next class we'll discuss with some more important reactions, and then we will solve some important questions. My request is that you learn all these reactions. These reactions are very important because these questions were asked previously in board examination. From last 2-3 years it has not been asked. It is not coming. Now this year there is maximum chances of coming this question in 12th board examination.